And then he's gonna fire off Zeus, but I just so happen to have a second one, so get dumpstered, kid.
Ha! Got him!
Alright, so you can see right here, I tried main decking Nibs, which is hilarious. I just so happen to move them into the main, and then the first matchup I get is against a lab player, which is hilarious.
Bruh.
And also, Tactics is really good in this deck as well, obviously for the format itself. Tactics is good, you can't go wrong with that. I would choose Tactics over Desires personally, but that's because I like the grind game and everything else, so... but yeah, neither one of them is like a horrible pick, so yeah, either way. Let's go ahead and start off. I get to start here. This is my problem with Nib. I hate drawing Nib when I'm starting. I can't fucking stand it. It's so annoying. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pass into Spring Girl into Sea Angel. Then we're gonna go ahead and we don't get it denied, which is nice. We'll go ahead and get the dive, and we end up milling a Veiler and an Imperm, things I would rather have in my hand, but still, whatever. Coral Anemone, gonna go ahead and add back Spring into you know, slug into triangle, add back triangle, discard, and I know I have my Spring in my hand or a dive, so I'm not worried about it. Then he goes ahead and nibs me, so that's great. Turns out this is a lab / Unchained. Now, very strange. I can see why they would match up pretty well, because they're you know, fiends and all that other shit. So yeah, my personal hell. I hate lab. It's one of the hardest matchups for Merincess specifically, because there's just so many outs to anything we do, and they don't die to any, like the majority of side deck choices and main deck you know, non-engine, like they don't suffer from any of it half the time, so it's really rough. Alright, he's gonna set the big welcome here off of the chandelier. Thankfully it can't be used this turn, but still. I'm gonna use my triple tactics, and we are going to look at his hand and send back whatever the hell I chose. I didn't see what I chose there because it doesn't show you, but anyway, he has a nib left in his hand. Okay, so he's gonna set the Unchained trap there, which is annoying. And then we're gonna go ahead and set an Imperm and pass. Alright, so on his turn, he's gonna Extravagance for 3. Or 2 anyway. And then he's gonna use the Big Welcome, followed by the Serpent, Arain, or whatever the hell her name is, Ariana? I don't know, whatever, who cares? Fucking hate this deck, who cares? Chandelier, Ariana effect, Ariana Grande, and then we're gonna go Imperm on that, and then he's gonna go into Yama with the Escape set, pass back to me, and yeah, I just got a second talents. I'm gonna go ahead and use the effect to get back our dive, and then he's going to use the effect of his escape, and he's gonna just get rid of the token as well as his monster. And now I'm going here, Spring Girl into Slug, add back, dive, Tang, dump. There we go, into Sea Angel, and we can chain block here, so if he has an Ash, you know, whatever, who cares. Then we add back Sea Angel, sorry, Sea Slug, or fucking Seahorse, for fuck's sake. And then we get a Battle Ocean off of the search. Battle Ocean effect, go straight, see, he has a nib, so I'm going straight into my Crystal Heart here. This is kind of how I always usually try to play around the nib. But a lot of times it doesn't matter. You can bait it out, but you'll still have something on the field, so it's, you know, kind of nice. As long as you keep this in your hand, you can extend. So, all right. Now he didn't take my bait, but now this Coral Anemone is made with a Crystal Heart. So still, we can use the effect off the links, equip, and now there we go. Now can't use it, nothing happens because he's a dingus, and then he goes ahead and sets, and he realized he fucked up. This is why you need to play Crystal Heart. Like, they just forget. You're gonna get people that fuck up with that. And then I was gonna talents and then everything else. So yeah, we'll move on to game 2 here. All right, game 2. He's gonna go ahead and go first here. I start my hand with an Ash. anytime you get an Ash versus Lab, it's really, really nice because the big welcomes and the Labyrinth and your mom's Labyrinth and everything else. Like, these names are fucking driving me nuts. But anyway, Ash is really good against Lab. Let me go ahead and let him start off. Yeah, also, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Yeah, I got a Seahorse, Dive, Triple Tactics, as well as Pask, so I'm gonna go ahead and extra. I'm just letting that go because I already know who I'm playing against. It's well worth it to just wait for the big welcome. I'm just gonna go ahead and the Ku-Klok. This is the card, if I could choose one to get banned. This is the most dickish card. I can't stand this card. It allows them to set a normal trap. Yeah, look at this shit. You can discard this card this turn, and you can activate one normal trap that was set this turn. What? Fuck off with that shit, man.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
Alright. It's probably gonna activate. There you go. Brings back Ku-Klok, and then we're gonna save the Ash for that. Used it, and then once you get fucked over, they just go straight into their Yama stuff and everything else. It's really interesting. I like it, but I think it's just too bricky. And he's gonna sit on the engine of Unchained, which I think is pretty cool. It's nifty, but it kind of just lowers the ceiling of either one of the decks, in my opinion. But still, all right. Gonna have 2 cards set, and Escape, and then something else. So I'm gonna go Pask. It's gonna go ahead and skill drain ASAP right off the gate, whatever the hell. And then he goes and does his Escape, and then he just busts up my board pretty much like right away, which is pretty tough. And then he sets a red dog, and then, you know, whatever else, all the recursion and everything else. So we're gonna get rid of the Ash. Doesn't matter. Go into that, sit on that, dive. I'm just trying to climb in any way I can, which none of this is really doing anything. It's just that, yeah, I can add back. I know what I can do. You can do a little bit of extension here, but with the skill drain, it's very, very tough. But I'm gonna go ahead and clear that by running it over. And then hoping he can't have anything out. He goes Chandelier into, looks like a big welcome there. Then the clock thing, and then it's his turn. He activates it. Yeah, I just know what's gonna happen. It's just rough from here on out. Especially if he gets the field spell. That shit is just Jover. There he goes. And he's gonna battle phase, crash over, and I get nothing else. I just know what's gonna happen. I got nothing to fight back here, so I think I scoop it up, if I'm not mistaken. Draw, Tang. Well, I have a Fighting Spirit, so apparently I keep going. Dive into Pask, no effect. I didn't realize that because I'm stupid. And then go into Slug, get the Chain 2. Yeah, it's not easy for me, but yeah. Tang off of that again. And I haven't normal summoned yet, which is kind of nice here. So we're gonna go Crystal Heart. Now I'm good. As soon as you establish the Crystal Heart, this means nothing. Fucking skill drain does nothing. But again, I get to equip, I can crash over, and grind game's just super good with Merincess, but still, like, I'm not confident in this match at all, just because the way it was laid out. But yeah, got a big body on board. He was able to get rid of it because of the banish effect. Yeah, and then put some defense. I get this. I have all shit in the world. I have 8 cards in my extra deck too, which is quite nice. But yeah, I got Dive again, and yep, he's gonna go ahead and set another welcome or big welcome, whatever. Don't care. There's welcome, and another one's big welcome. Got it. Yeah, and then he sets a Daruma card mechanic, which I'm just like, wow, this is great. That card absolutely destroys Link decks, and it's just rough. So yeah, that's about all she wrote on that one. I'm gonna try my best to keep going because I'm stubborn as fuck, but still. Mandarin. All right. Gonna equip, and I'm just grasping to anything because I hate the matchup, and I don't want it to go to game 3. Swinging in. Yep, and all right, he's gonna flip. I'm just sitting on a slug. That's all I'm doing. Shit's rough out here. That right there, this is the card that hurts so much because it's not this card activating, so it's like a static effect. So if they activate and resolve a trap, they're going to be able to destroy a card on the field like right away. There's like no hesitation, no interaction there. It's just an additional effect here. So shit's rough out here. And after that, pop another card in my hand if it bounces back with this biatch. I just overall hate this deck so much. It just has too much. The fact that tutors traps and stuff is just obnoxious. So that's another one. This keeps recurring, and then he goes into Muckraker, bring it back, and I'm just like, yeah. As soon as you see these two, you just leave. It's just no winning there. All right, on to game 3. All right, game 3. It's my turn, and I have a hand full of gas. It's really, really nice, as well as a triple tactics, which is also pretty good. We're gonna start off. Gonna go Tang, obviously. He's gonna go ahead and Ash the Tang dump, which very interesting. That tells me right away he's got something else in his hand to negate the Sea Angel. And I whiff on the Tang, apparently. I'm gonna go ahead into Seahorse into Sea Angel, adding the Ocean. I don't know why he would negate the dump of Tang. I don't get that. It's like, you just let me get my free resources, so whatever. Maybe he's saving an imperm for Triangle or something like that. But we're gonna go ahead and triple tactics, draw 2. This is really, really nice. Being able to that's one thing I'll say about tactics, is really nice. It can add, when you're a little bit, deficient in your sets and whatever else, your non-engine, it can draw it for you. So I treat it the same way as Desires. I just don't have to banish 10 cards. That's just my style anyway. So Coral Anemone is going to go ahead and bring back the Sea Angel. Then I'm going to banish the Seahorse because she's done her job with the Spring Girl. And I'm going to go into a Crystal Heart with that. We're going to go ahead and put the... unfortunate. I run 2 of them, so it's not like I can't search it, but still. It doesn't seem like we're going to be searching that anyway, but still. This is going to be good for follow-up turns once we link away the Coral Anemone. So, Wave is in the graveyard, which convenient or sad, depends on how you play. Ocean, alright. Go into an Argonaut here, and then I'm going to be able to add back the Wave, so it kind of worked out for me. He's going to go Ariana into setting a Big Welcome. Now, the Argonaut only can negate spells and traps on my opponent's turn, so if they go ahead and fire off their traps now, I can use it, but if they wait until your turn, Argonaut does nothing. So generally the best way to play against your Lab matchup is your Argonaut plus an Ash. So if you can get those 2 together, as well as the Wave or whatever, then you're just sitting pretty. So yeah. Well, you definitely want to stop the field spell added effect to trap. So if you can deny a trap, then you're going to be off, pretty good. So, all right, there he goes, bringing that. So I know I got to deny the first trap that fires off, like whatever it is. Boom, Argonaut, get that. He can't pop my field spell, and yeah, he gave up. I was so happy. This was a rather tough matchup because I had played all day, and I don't think I've ever been so hype after beating this guy. But that's that match. Let's go on to a Tearalaments match. Everyone's favorite. Alright, so I'm going first here versus Tearalaments. Now, as you all know, going first versus Tears is kind of, well, it's their turn as well, mostly. The Gimped version of the deck, which I consider the new one, not as great as it used to be, obviously. It used to be just absurd the amount of power it had, and it just... a full power Tearalaments, I'm talking full of Shizus and shit like that, and like orange lights and everything else. Yeah, it was a rough matchup. Now it's not too bad. The one thing that the Marincess deck has in favor of this matchup is they want to mill, like they'll mill your deck. The problem is a lot of your deck, you get to use effects in the graveyard on the follow-up turns, not exactly the first turn that it goes to the graveyard, but still. With the exception with Triangle. If she goes straight to the graveyard, you can actually fire off that effect if you have no monsters and your opponent does. So that's one thing. But otherwise, yeah, it's nice to have your cards in the graveyard, and then they end up having to use their Shizus to send them back and everything else. So it's not too bad a match. I actually love this matchup personally. But yeah, we'll go ahead and start off. I have a Book of Moon, a Spring Girl, Pask, Seahorse, as well as a Wave conveniently. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and Pask into Seahorse, Seahorse into Slug, add back Seahorse, summon, go into Sea Angel. We're gonna add a Dive here. That's kind of another good thing about, Tearalaments. They generally don't run too many hand traps. Quite nice. We're gonna get a Dive, and we're gonna get a go into Coral Anemone here, and then we're gonna summon back the Seahorse into a Triangle. Use Coral Anemone to add back Dive. send back the seahorse for a second wave, which is nice, and we're going to sit on a bubble reef. Yeah, I definitely should have put the Book of Moon down. I don't know why I didn't. I think that was just a misplay by me. I didn't mean to do that, but either way, we're going to draw into a Mandarin here with the, you know, standby phase effect of bubble reef. He's going to start off with a Fenrir. I'm going to go ahead and just negate that. He's going to shoot off one of his shithead Shizu cards, adding one. That's a rough spell trap or spell hand trap, but I've already fired off my waves, so I'm already unaffected by everything. So it's kind of a nice little thing to sit on. There we go. Sheeran, I believe that's that one. Let me stop. Let me read. If I could share. Yeah, it's Sheeran. I know the art. And he's going to start milling. I already have 16 cards in my grave, which, by the looks of it, I'm not too sad about. Graveyard effect. Graveyard effect. Yeah, it's like you have quite a lot here. I mean, there's a lot of my stuff that I want, but, you know, either way. Game one is game one. All right. And he's going to use, go into the Time Thief Redoer. Yep, I'm gonna go into Kaleido there, I believe. Yep, and then he jumps onto the See, this is what the card that actually... This card was not out when this deck was at full power. Like, it was just coming in because of Cashier or whatever, but if this card was out at the same time, the deck was already the best deck ever made. This would have just put it over the top, like, just to a ridiculous degree, so... Yeah, we got chain 1, chain 2, bubble reef is getting bigger. Alright, Cash, gonna go ahead and dump. And he main decks Kaijus. That is very weird for playing this deck that doesn't... Well, I guess it's because they don't... Oh, he's Aqua. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, never mind. Aqua kind of synergizes quite well, so we'll go with that. He's gonna sit on a Shangri-Era, believe it or not. I guess he's trying for like a duo thing. I don't know what this deck is trying to do, but either way. I believe I'm targeting the Shangri-Era, if I'm not mistaken, but... Also, might not be true. Yeah, I did. Okay, so I Book of Moon, the Shangri-Era, and, yep, send away that. Okay, and it comes right back. It's gonna go into Rukalos. I'm gonna use the Pask effect, and he's gonna go ahead and stop me with his Shizu, and I'm gonna bring in the Tang, sending the Basil Lily Malam. Yep, then we're gonna go into a Slug here, add back, and he's gonna use another Shizu to stop that effect, which, you know, is what it is. I have a handful of gas, I'm not too worried about it. We get a free Tang off the Excavate, quite nice for follow-up. This matchup's all about grind game. I'm gonna go into Zealantis here and attempt to stop or wipe, but yeah, it gets negated, obviously. But I run 2 of them motherfuckers, so, you know, I'm ready for anything. Dive activates. Since he has no more Shizu interaction, I can go into Sea Angel with Tang. He's going to use the Sharon effect here, dumping Merly here, and then I'm going to get back my Battle Ocean. So, alright, going to activate Battle Ocean. I'm going to use the Spring Girl, best extender in the deck. Now she's 4,000. I'm going to attempt to, yep, there go Coral, well, not Coral, Triangle here. And then I can discard Mandarin for free because I can just get it back. It just comes back to the field anyway. And we get a wave off of that. Then we're going to go ahead and swing in. Might not have been the best choice here, but I'm going to go ahead and swing in and get rid of 2 things here. Sheeran as well as the Rukalos. I'll go into an Argonaut. Yep, with a double wave Argonaut. That's not too bad. I also purposely brought back my Bubble Reef so that I can have 2 big beaters on the board when I negate. So, Time Thief Redoer, steals a card, flips back Shang. But that's pretty smart. Crash into it, make a free Zeus. You know, why not? But yeah, I'm not too worried about it. I have double wave in hand, so... but yeah, like I said, I negated, and then I got my Bubble Reef to the field, so pretty good. I'm gonna Time Thief. I'm gonna go into Seahorse. I'm gonna go ahead and negate off of the wave onto his Kaleido. And then he's gonna fire off Zeus, but I just so happen to have a second one, so get dumpstered, kid.
Got him!
Garura. I bring up the Tang, dumping the Mandarin, activate Mandarin. I'm gonna start bouncing shit. It's gonna Time Thief. And I'm going to, yeah, this is just a really close battle here. The grind game of Tears is pretty insane too, but one thing is having to use all your Shizus to send my shit back when they're all like one and stuff, it's kind of dumb. You're literally not keeping your deck going, so the grind game of Marincess will eventually catch up to you. Bubble Reef effect, add back Pask. Then I'm going to go into the Marbled Rock there. Going to target, get a wave back, go into Tearlaments, swipe everything, but I have to, this is, I forgot somehow, I don't know how, I did not waterlock myself somehow. I don't understand how I can do that. I think it's just because I was out of resources, most likely, but still, I don't know how that happened, but either way, bringing everything back. Zeus, I don't know why that late effect of Zeus, but either way, yeah. Add back, I have 2 wave in my hand, crashing over. Now it is their turn. Time Thief, I negate it. And now nothing can happen to my board here. He's trying to pop my field spell. And then I negate again off the Kaleido. And then we just do the Tearlaments swipe because they went to battle phase. And you could just quick effect fire that off and pop them both. But he knew he can come back. So here comes that. He's bringing back, now this worried me. Right here I was really worried. The Grapha, fuck me. I was so scared when that came out. I was like, ah, god damn it. He's going to change the effect to he gets to discard a card. So I was not looking forward to that. But either way, he crashes into my Tearlaments as well as my Argonaut. So I'm left with the grind card. I mean, arguably, I think he should have killed this, not the Argonaut, but, you know, who am I? I get a Book of Eclipse. Convenient as fuck. Alright. We're going to go ahead and activate Pask. Since I brought back Triangle, she's back in the grave. So I can go ahead and fire that off. There you go. I'm getting all my graveyard effects. Okay, now let's look in here. Triangle, where are you at? Yeah, Triangle's in here. Everything's in here. So yeah, I had a good follow-up plan, and I went ahead and it went into, now this is the one reason I love having a Charmer. If you're playing something like,
Oh my god!
yeah, getting ahead of myself, but anyway, you can add back anything from your opponent, so if you do run into the random Tearalaments matchup, well, you can steal their Rucolos, everything, except the Kaleido. You can't, he's dark. But it's really nice. There's a lot of matchups, like any kind of like Cybers deck that uses Splash Mage, you can steal that too, get a free link going on there. Also, if you play Tactics talents, you can steal and then link off with it, so it's a nice way to get rid of threats on the board as well. We're gonna go ahead and add back the wave, and then he flips his Kaleido. It's his turn, but yeah, he's gonna go ahead and try to swing in, so I win that grind game. Let's go to game 2. Alright, game 2, my opponent goes first, and I have a Ash, Tang, Eclipse, and then double Imperm. I like double Imperm. I'm a huge fan of the double Imperm. He's gonna start off with the Unicorn. I'm gonna stop it right there. He's gonna use the Mud. What the fuck is King of the Swamp? This is like the jank shit you have to play now just to make the deck viable in a competitive sense. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and Ash that one. And then he's gonna start off with a Diviner. So, yep, fucking Diviner. Not a fan of the Diviner. Love the Veiler, don't like the Diviner. So he's gonna set because I stopped all of his plays essentially. And then I'm gonna start off Eclipsing, going into my Mandarin, which will follow up with him scooping. I guess he just didn't like his opening hand, and he saw how my deck can grind. The deck can't grind like what I was doing. If you don't have the third slug, it's so often you're just gonna run out of gas. It just allows you to add back that Coral Anemone, which allows you to add back whatever the fuck, which allows you to add back whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's like a chain effect here. So I believe in just nothing but links and just pure grind game. I don't like XEs in my deck. I've not really ever been a fan. I like Kragan into, you know, the Gozen match. That's quite nice, but I'm not a fan of the Toad stuff. I love Toad from other decks, but not so much in this deck. I'm not a big fan of that. But yeah, that was the matches. I hope you guys like that. If you guys want more like games broken down and matches broken down, just let me know. Until next time, boys.